How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and today, well, I should be more specific, the Elite Battle League channel, rather. Welcome back to the Elite Battle League channel, and today we're going to be continuing on with Week 5 of the Power Rankings for the Season 3 of the Elite Battle League. Of course, as always, I am not alone. I am joined by the most legendary co-host ever, Derek, AlwaysMooreVideos. Go out and say hello, sir.
What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you guys clicking on this video. We got a fast one for you today. Had a lot of sweeps take place, not a lot of notes. I'm excited to get into it.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Of course, before we begin, a couple of things that need to be done. You need to hit the like button, make that thumbs up turn blue, subscribe to the Elite Battle League channel, and also subscribe to all of the coaches. Their links are going to be down below in the description. Go ahead and do so. They are amazing people. They deserve it. And if you are ready, I'm ready. Let's jump right into it.
One more thing, if you guys are curious about playoffs, because we will talk about it a little bit throughout this video, but to get an exact playoff breakdown, you can go here on the channel and check out the video that StoneFamily64 posted for the Elite Battle League. It breaks down the playoffs, who plays who, and get you ready for this Saturday's videos.
There you go. Alrighty, without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Starting off at number 12. We have Nate, who is head coach of the Walton Wingles. Currently, they're at an 0-5 with a -26, and they're in 6th place in the Mega Division. So this team set I was going to say world record. This team set an EBL record for being the first winless team of the season, or of any of the seasons. It's not particularly a good thing to be, obviously, proud of, but they still set a record regardless. Currently, like I said, Nate's at a -26, and they are 6th place in the Mega Division. They were part of one of the sweeps that took place. They did go up against Isomorphic, who we'll touch base upon later on. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it a buck. It was not pretty. Not 6-0s on the receiving end are not pretty. Definitely a couple of room for improvements there. I do have to commend the energy that Nate had throughout the video and whatnot. I love that. I love that it seems that he's having fun. So I can't wait to see with his own team for next season. I can't wait to see how he does next season. That's all that I really have to say on this. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it on to Derek. What do you have, my dude?
Yeah, that was kind of what we broke down this entire season. Nate stepped up to bat when he really was tossed right in the middle of this. Had to hurry and get his mons ready. None of us really know him either to find out, hey, was these mons fully trained, stuff like that. I never did catch that in the videos and stuff like that. I may have missed something, though, so you can correct me down below if I'm wrong, Nate. But, it just comes to the man was dealt a bad hand. These may be Pokemon he's not used to using. So when he comes back next season, drafting who he needs to draft, I say this as a friend, my dude, even though we don't talk that much. Work on your predictions, because predicting that earthquake would have definitely helped him out in this one. The sleep powder, what can you do? And staying in with the, choosing to stay in when you get those stat boosts, like he did when he Dynamaxed his Groudon. He had 2 Max Knuckles go off. That attack was boosted, and he switched. So I don't know if there was some nerves there. Like I said, maybe some studying needs to take place. But that was the one thing I was like, bruh, come on now. All those boosts and you're going to switch out. Which, like I said, it's the heat of the moment. Everybody makes mistakes. I make them too. Go back and watch all my losses this season. But I think once this dude gets his team, he's going to bounce back strong. And I'm excited to see it, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Can't wait. And like we've mentioned before, don't be afraid to ask for help. We do have a help column in the EBL. Ask if you need help with mints, whatever it is. If you want a particular mon, if we have one, or something like that. Whatever it is, don't be afraid to ask. We are here to help. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see what you do next season, my friend. Is that all you have for number 12?
Yeah, let's go on to 11.
Number 11, rolling on to number 11, we have Infernomen, a.k.a. Landon, who is the head coach of the Iowa Incineroar. First time that the Iowa Incineroar has found themselves this low on the rankings. Also took part of the second 6-0 sweep of this season. Landon currently stands at a 4-1 with a +7. and is in second place in the Dynamax division. Not much to say here. I do know that Landon, obviously, the Zerny has taken him by surprise. That's one thing, but I know Landon prepared extensively. It's just that obviously the match didn't work out to his favor, and not all of them do. We all lose. It happens to the best of us. But I think that Landon, despite everything, the thought process behind everything, I still think that Landon played well. And obviously, as we've said it before, we'll say it again. He's come a long way from his inaugural season of Season 2 to where he is now. Very close to being one of the undefeated teams. Very close. Unfortunately, that didn't happen this season, but there's always next season and the season after that. Who knows? He'll even make it to the championship of the playoffs. It's not over. The season's not over. The regular season may be over, but the whole season as a whole is not over. There's still a light shining down for the Iowa Incineroar. But that's all that I had to say. Passing it on to Derek. What do you got, my dude?
Yeah, I got the privilege of watching this matchup with Landon. We watched it together Saturday night. He wasn't happy. But it's exactly like you said. The man did nothing wrong. He really didn't. He just didn't prep for a certain Pokemon. We've seen this all kinds of times this season of somebody playing a Pokemon that they didn't know. And I think that's what come into this right now. Landon played off of, I'm going for 5-0. He knows Luigi's good. But he picked the mons that he thought was coming, didn't prep for the whole team, and it kind of bit him here. A note that he said that I told him I was going to put in the video is he should have Dynamaxed with Hitmontop right away. He knows that, watching back, and it's one of the things, the exact same thing we talked about with Nate. You're in the moment. You don't know until after you go back and watch it, like, I should have done this, I should have done that. But yeah, 100%, he did nothing wrong whatsoever.
I agree. I know that Landon took it a little hard. I mean, not everybody likes to being on the receiving end for 6-0, but Landon, if you are watching this, of course, don't take it too hard. You had an amazing season. You had a great run.
Yes.
You still have a good run ahead of you because, as we said, the season's not over yet. So one loss, you might even make it to the championship. Who knows? So don't be too hard on yourself. Like I said, you did great. But that is all we have for number 11. Anything else you'd like to add before we move on?
No, just like you said, Landon, you did awesome. I was one that said in my preseason interview that this man would do great, and he has done. He just got, you just have to study everything, and we learned that as EBL coaches. There's 9 Pokemon, study all 9 of them. Know their abilities, know what they're capable of, because it will come to bite you. And unfortunately, it's better for this to happen now and Landon to learn and move on so you don't make that mistake in playoffs.
Yeah, definitely agree. All right, if there's nothing else for number 11, let's go ahead and roll on to number 10. Number 10 is held by EeveeGirl, who is the head coach of the San Diego Sylveons, currently at a 1-4 with a -13 and 5th place in the Mega Division. A couple of things that I do want to say that Tara definitely is getting better and better with every battle. Of course, there are definitely some room for improvements, but considering her experience, she's doing phenomenally well. I do want to point out that she did a great predict against the Magnezone by switching into the Steelix. I don't remember exactly what move the Magnezone was doing. Either way, she countered it with obviously ground negates electric attacks. So that was a great predict on her part. Another thing, we've said it before, maybe you don't want to Dynamax Pokemon that are not in good health, because the Dynamaxing increases your HP count that you have, and if it's already not in good health, it may not mean that much because it still doesn't boost the other stats. It doesn't boost your defense or anything, just boost that HP stat. So definitely something else that you want to take into consideration for the future. And lastly, that I have, definitely not a good thing to switch the Kyogre into a grass type. With the Roserade, the Kyogre sadly didn't stand really a chance. So rip Kyogre, but regardless, despite all of that, I am very happy to see that she is doing better with her battles, and I believe she is still for next season. So I can't wait to see what you do with another team that you draft. I think that you are doing pretty well with your own team. Despite the record, I think you're doing very well. That is all that I have to say.
You know, she put up a heck of a fight. She really did. And I believe you touched on most of the points that I was going to address as well. You know, that Kyogre was definitely her team MVP.
Yeah.
She rode the waves, and it was scary. You know, it had a lot of every week. It was a Pokemon that we talked about for a reason. So definitely excited to see what she goes with next season. Maybe she tries to get Kyogre back. Maybe she goes with a new plan. We did get to see another battle of the evolutions in this one, so I enjoy that. We have to point that out every time we see it. She also went for Stealth Rocks here as a play to wait out to see what was going to happen. That's good stuff. That shows that she's learning. Always go for chip damage. So I was really impressed with that. You know, underestimating the Roserade. She has admitted to this a bunch of times. She goes for super effective moves. She's seen the Ice Beam. She's seen a Grass type. You go to that. So I think that was a misjudge of like the power and the speed of a Roserade. But when the Moltres got all of its boosts, there's just nothing she could do, man. You know, it was the same way with Landon, the team we just talked about. When them boosts come off on a powerful Pokemon, especially legendaries, there's not a lot you can do. Unfortunately, she caught the back end of that, knocked her out of the playoffs. She was very close to getting in, win or lose, and some stuff fell the other person's way. But Tara had a great season. Excited to see what San Diego does next season, and FGL for life.
Alrighty. So again, yeah, fantastic. That's still a fantastic season for Tara. And like Derek said, can't wait to see what you do for next season.
Yes.
But rolling on from Tara, we're gonna go on to the commissioner himself. Number 9 is holding Matty Ice from the Stone family, currently at a 1-4 with a -11 and 6th place in the Dynamax division. I got not too much to say here because, I do want to say one thing. I think Matt needs to think a little bit more highly of himself because he's a great battler despite him thinking that he had been horrible this season. I think that his plays were great. They just didn't work out, which happens. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're a bad battler. It doesn't necessarily mean that you've made bad decisions. It just happens to be that it didn't work out. And again, like I said before, it happens to the best of us. So, think highly of yourself. I think you did great against this matchup. Again, despite the record, and despite the record of the season, you did great. That's unfortunately they're one of the teams that did not make it to the playoffs. It's the first time the Atlanta Braviary did not make it to the playoffs in the EBL, but I know that for next season or the next following seasons to come, that they will bounce back and they will remedy that. That's all that I had to say on the number 9 spot with Matty Ice. Let's go ahead and throw it on to Derek so he can add some more.
Yeah, we're really close to Stone. So to watch him beat himself up like that, it sucks because we know that he is good. Mm-hmm. And he unfortunately went into this one after the first, I think during the Dragon Ball, he's like, oh, this is over. And he was, showing, he was already shot down and the match wasn't even over. Because he set up the Dragon Ball, he bailed with it. And I'm like, if he was giving up, I would have just went full force to that Dragon Ball. And maybe it'd have been different. Because then our boys started switching in. He died with Cortana with Flamethrower on the Snorlax, and then he goes straight to Klefki, another steel type. And I'm like, man, this dude's just, I think he's just done. I think he got too down on himself, and that really hurt. But Stone, we love you. Bounce back, man. You're going to have a great next season. I already know it. You're going to learn from all your mistakes. And always remember, pick priority moves on your Pokemon and always go for acrobatics. That was 2 other things I seen here, and I was shaking my computer screen like, Stone, click acrobatics. Because in EBL, it's broken.
Yeah, it is.
And then he had Icicle Crash on Weavile, and he could have had Ice Shard and had done that more chip damage there towards the end and that priority. I always love priority moves. If you got them, use them. But that was about all I had because the Klefki actually put up a fight.
It did.
It had Rain Dances. It was able to set up 2 Rain Dances, a Scream, Thunder Wave, all that.
Yeah.
So that thing was bulky. And like I said, when he threw it in, he was done. He was like, oh, this thing's getting one shot. He went for Rain Dance right away.
And it
You gotta have more faith in yourself. Have more faith in yourself, Flack Ass Stone, and you'll be good to go, man.
That exactly true. Have faith. Think more highly of yourself. I can't talk. Words are difficult for me today. But think more highly of yourself. And you'll see that's key to anything that you do. But that aside, great season. Let's go ahead and move on to number 8. Number 8 is held by the Doorman, head coach of the Texas Tyranitar, currently at a 1-4 with a -6 and 5th place in the Dynamax division. One of the greatest matches that I've seen so far this week. According to the commissioner, not exactly a match of the week, but still a great match, very intense. And like I've always said with Alan, Alan has come a long way from when he first started with the season to where he is now. And even when he first started against that one battle with Landon where we all thought that he was going to get decimated, it still came very close. So Alan knows what he's doing. He just needs to tweak this here, tweak that there. And who knows, this next season, this man is going to be a complete monster. Either way, Alan did great with this matchup. He went up against one of the toughest opponents, so that's never going to be easy, of course. But that's all that I have to say here for number 8. Let's go ahead and throw it on to Derek so he can throw more on there.
Yeah, I think I got to experience this one pretty close. Unfortunately, there was video issues. He clicked record on his audio face cam. He forgot his gameplay. So we didn't get to see all of his selections, but luckily we were able to line it up. It worked really good. He done good with what he had using my video. But he said it right from the beginning. He didn't prep for a full rain team. Something that the Kinglers didn't do all season. So that right there, already hurt him because he added those moves that he could have used, like, maybe putting Thunderbolt or stuff like that to get ready for the full rain team, or even focusing on Cinderace's weaknesses. Kind of hurt him from the start, but he still played great, bringing that energy ball. Whew! Had me shaking. That was very, very great play by our dude. He did fight the rain every chance that he got with his 2 Sand Setter uppers to try to keep the rain off the Kinglers. But, dude, the crits in this matchup mattered so much because this dude got critted twice and sucks. Because them crits don't happen. We'll have to see. And unfortunate with the crits, sleeping. When the Seismitoad went to sleep there at the end, was definitely unfortunate for him because they had a Pelipper and a Kingdra left. So our boy probably could have done something there. But overall, he done great. He had a great season. He was in every single matchup except for, I think, one when his friend took advantage of him, aka Max. But the Doorman did fantastic. That's about all the notes I had. Excited for this dude to come back and, once again, see what he can do. He was just inches away from the playoffs. And it was unfortunate it happened to him, but he'll bounce back even stronger. I know he will.
It seems that Cinderace has a psychological effect on most. This is something that Hermit mentioned back in season 1. It has a psychological effect. You think the opponent's bringing it, and if he does bring it but doesn't use it, or if he doesn't bring it and whatnot, either way, you have the opponent preparing for such a powerful, broken Pokemon. And then it turns out that your whole strategy gets derailed when you don't see the bunny. Psychological thing happened. Hermit called it since season 1. So that's one thing that probably went wrong with this matchup. But regardless, Alan did a great job.
Yes, he did.
Now, moving on from number 8, we're going to go ahead and move on to number 7. Number 7 is held by Yeltnab, who's the head coach of the Indiana Igglybuffs, currently at a 3-2 with a +4 and 3rd place in the Mega Division. And right off the bat, this according to our commissioner mentioned that this was match of the week. Got to say that Bob's perspective of the battle, very calm, very calculating, very methodical, and predictions were on point on both sides, really. But it seems as if he had his opponent right where he wanted them. At one point in the video, he mentioned that everything was going to plan. It was the Grimmsnarl, excuse me, the Grimmsnarl, according to him, came only for the Eternatus, and it managed to do its job before I think it went down too. But he brought it. He did what it needed to do against that one Pokemon, and unfortunately, this is the only battle this week that went to timer. And it did not end ultimately in Bob's favor with the battle. But regardless, the ferocity that he fought his opponent with is incredible. He did a great job, hands down. This guy is just, you can see his battle prowess, his battle experience there. So, Bob, there's nothing much more to say except that was a great match. It was a great match. Anything you'd like to throw on there?
Yeah, I think that if this matchup ever happens again, we'll probably see both of you not... Alright, I'm going to let this Pokemon go down. Because that ended up being Bob's downfall here. One of the best things, and you both made the mistake, and I was cracking up at it, is you both were like, alright, Earthquake on Rotom. You both said it in your videos, and I was watching with Lonely Hermit and Infernomen. Shout out to both of them. We were like, he has Levitate. That's the only ability Rotom gets, and you both said it in your videos, and it was so funny because Bob switched out. He's like, because I don't want to take an Earthquake with this Rotom. We were dying laughing. That right there shows how committed both coaches were. They were balls to the wall in this one. It was match of the week, 100%. You know, Clash of the Titans. When Bob missed the Power Whip there towards the end of the matchup, that definitely hurt him.
That mattered.
Getting all the paralysis, yeah, that miss did matter, not crit. But, you know, the one that he didn't, another thing that he missed too, that was in his favor, was when he missed Swagger. Because he went for Swagger on your switch out, and if that had landed, we don't want to see what would have happened there, getting that attack boost on that Pokemon. But man, in the Clash of the Titans, when they're both Dynamax, Bob unfortunately got smacked in that one, and it went to timer, but it was so good. This is a matchup that we all want to see again in the playoffs, so hopefully it happens. And I know Bob, he beat himself up a little bit, but at the same time, you know, he was texting me like, hey, this is a great matchup. This is awesome. I can't wait for the rematch. So good on Yeltnab. Had an impressive season. Makes the playoffs with ease. This is just a battle of the Titans, pretty much.
I'm sorry, Bob.
And it delivered. It's sure delivered. So shout outs to the Igglybuffs. I'm glad I got this man in. He come in. He was ready to play. He's ready to have fun. He don't talk a lot to the guys, but I think that he's going to do all of his talking in the playoffs. So I'm excited to see what Yeltnab can do here.
I do want to add one thing. I did have the pleasure of talking a little bit with Bob. I learned something, and this is surprising, with how you talk him up about winning GameStop tournaments and everything, and he definitely has a lot of feats under his belt. I've been doing competitive battling horribly at first, mind you, but I've been doing it and trying my hand since Gen 3, since Emerald.
Gen 3.
And according to Bob, he's only been doing it since Gen 5. So just on the games and numbers alone, I have more experience in VGC. But Bob has more under his belt as far as accomplishments go. So easily, even though I have more experience in the numbers or the years, I guess, as far as actual experience, you can see Bob's battle prowess and his experience and everything that he has done throughout the season. So I'm not surprised if he ends up being the champion, to be honest, because this guy's definitely got the juice. He's got the juice to do it.
Yeah. He's got the team, he's got the drive, so we'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah.
This Saturday can't come fast enough.
But that is all we have to say on Bob and who's the coach of the Indiana Igglybuffs. Let's go ahead and move on to number 6. Number 6 is me, with being the head coach of the Miami Dragonites, currently at a 5-0 with a +14 and first place in the Mega Division. So with sorry Landon, but with Landon's downfall at the hands of Luigi, that currently makes the Dragon Knights as the only undefeated team in the league. This is another team that set a record with the EBL as being the first team to have a perfect regular season. And of course, you already know who the opponent was. We already mentioned most of the facts there. I knew that the Rotom had Levitate. I had the Excadrill with Mold Breaker for a reason, because I knew it wasn't going to be able to take it regardless. But the only thing that really stood a threat that I didn't account for and whatnot was the Hawlucha. Definitely going to be preparing for that if I do meet him again. But regardless, not much more to say because we already said our bits. Great job on Bob. Great job, on my part, obviously, for the win and whatnot. But still, very close match. I will say that this is probably the one match where I had to use my entire brain, because I'm like, bro, I don't know what this man is gonna do. I don't know. Let me go ahead and try to predict this here. This is gonna come out wrong, but this is the first time where I was really focused. And I completely forgot that I had no music playing, as I usually do for my battles. And it doesn't happen often that I forget something. So I was too focused. I had to use every ounce of brain power with this match. That's how terrified I was of Bob. But that's all that I have to say on me. Anything you'd like to add?
Well, I'm glad that you corrected our levitate dilemma there, because I was definitely scratching my head at that one. But that makes a lot of sense now with Mold Breaker. If you'd have told me that Eternatus would die to Ferrothorn in this match, I'd have laughed in the face of whoever said that. But it happened, paralysis hit. Unfortunate for you, great for Yeltnab. But it all come, man, in the Clash of the Titans, when you got that one shot on the Meganadel. That definitely was a game changer. You draw first blood. Even though, Yeltnab said, I'm going to let this go down, it's still first blood, and like you and Offline always like to say, you draw first blood, you usually come out victorious, and that's how it was here. The head-banging Miami Dragon Knights are on their way to the playoffs, #1 seed. Like I said, y'all can check out the playoff video to explain who's playing who. We're not going to get into too much detail here with that, so make sure you go watch that, and the roundup with Infernomen and TimmyB. Check that out as well here on the channel for a better breakdown of the matches. Plugging in the middle, you did a great job. This was such a good battle. Excited to see what you do and keep that undefeated record going, buddy.
We'll see. I don't know, but I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and move on to number 5. Number 5 is held by, of course, your wonderful co-host for the Power Rankings, the Kentucky Kinglers, Derek AlwaysMooreVideos, currently at 3-2 with a +2 and 4th place in the Dynamax division. Again, he fought the Texas Tyrannotars. Another great match. Everything that Derek did was just on point, and very close. It was a close match. I feel I can't remember the exact. How many Pokemon did you have left with this one?
I had 2 left.
Two left. Okay, so it was a fairly close match. Ultimately, of course, the decisive win going to the Kinglers. But everything that Derek did on point. All the notes that I really have to say on this one. Anything you'd like to add?
Kentucky has been criticized a lot the last 2 seasons, saying they can't win without the bunny. Well, by Georgie, we finally won one without the rabbit. I drafted a Drizzle team. I was going to end my season, win or loss, with a Drizzle team. And it's like I told Doorman after that. I was actually rooting for him. I was done, because of the way my schedule is going to be here for the next couple of weeks. I was done. I was ready to lose, but I owed the Doorman respect to not go in and throw. So I went full Drizzle. That's who I drafted. That's what I wanted to try. I got lucky. That's hands down. That's what happens. Seismitoad staying asleep as long as it did helped me pick up the win, because I did misclick and switch into Ludicolo, and it ended up living. But it should have died. Any crit or anything that would have fell the Doorman's way, that Ludicolo would have died, and it wouldn't got the one shot on the Lock and Rock like it did. But, Ludicolo, I've rode its back for weeks now, and it continues to impress me as being one of the best draft picks I made throwing away last season. That Ludicolo has come in clutch this season. I don't have the best record, but I have done very well with the Drizzle team, better than I expected. Bought us a ticket to the playoffs, and we'll have to see what we can do. But yeah, I won one without the bunny, so take that, haters.
I personally don't like Ludicolo. And the only reason I don't like Ludicolo is because of what he did to Cinderace season 1, week 3. Shouts out to Crowbats, by the way. But that's the only reason. It's the only reason why I don't like Ludicolo. Other than that, it's a very good Pokemon, all things considered, and whatnot. Very good for a draft team. And you're absolutely right. I think it was definitely one of the best picks that you've done for your team. But is that all?
Yeah, that's about all I got to say.
All right, that's all that we have to say on number 5. Let's go on to number 4. Number 4 is Gamer Views, head coach of the Detroit Lux race, currently at a 4-1 with a +15 and second place in the Mega Division. Not too much to say here as well, because he did end up getting a reverse sweep on his opponent with the Moltres. It was just. It's really like Derek mentioned before, you know, once you get enough boosts on a legendary, there's not much that your opponent can do to stop you and whatnot. And that's exactly what happened here. A decisive win for the Lux race, and one hell of a season that they've had as well. Anything that you like to add?
Yeah, our man has definitely impressed everybody with, getting crapped on for the last 2 seasons and come in and just smack everybody around. He has done very well. He loves to build up and he loves to switch, and it is paying off for him, and it will probably do him some good in the playoffs if I don't have nothing to say about that, because our matchups against each other, so excited for that one. It was risky going for the dual Calm Minds, because any Crypt could have knocked that Espeon out, but it paid off in the long run. This man is playing fantastic. The Steelix switching in kind of hurt his game plan there to maybe continuing that build up with other Pokemon, but he's playing great. Keep doing what you're doing, Max, and get rid of the Kinglers and keep going, bro, and push for that championship, because you definitely deserve it. I will say right now, if there's any team that we talk about, it is this man right here that deserves to be on top, and he is getting every bit of it.
I agree that definitely the Luxuries have come a long way. This man said, you know what, I'm going to show you all this season. I'm tired of y'all talking crap. And he's just kicked everybody's butt. Yep. But, again, that's all we have to say on number 4. Number 3, let's go ahead and move on to number 3. Number 3 is held by PokéPidge, who is the head coach of the Essex Espeon, currently at a 3-2 with a +8 and third place in the Dynamax division. One hell of a team, like we've said before. This was I believe it was a 5-0 against Atlanta, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, excuse me, guys. Very decisive win for the Espeons. Unfortunately for Atlanta, but well deserved, and definitely, like we said before, it's just a killer team. Not much to say for me on here. Oh, I do want to say one thing actually. Aside from the great plays that he's had, definitely the breeding of that Snorlax was just amazing. It was genius putting that flamethrower on there. Not a lot of people knew that Snorlax can actually, learn flamethrower and a couple of other special moves. So that was definitely genius. I love the fact that he prepared for it because he anticipated the Kartana coming out. So definitely something that threw Stone for a loop. I gotta throw props for that play.
Yep.
Anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, man, the Mew, the Snorlax, and the Toxapex impressed me so much in this matchup. This dude knew exactly what he wanted to do. He played very well. The only thing that didn't go his way was paralysis on the Ninetales, but our dude was still able to pull it off and get a humongous win to punch his ticket in. He's got a tough matchup this week. Very excited to see what Pidge does in the playoffs. This dude come in here, took the league by charge, has great builds every week, very entertaining videos, very fun.
Oh yeah.
And very upset that I'm the only one that got the full props when he fought and beat me, because he said at the beginning of the video, he said no props this week, and I'm just like, wow, this guy. But Pidge, you did well taking down the commish, so congrats to you. welcome to the. I don't know if has he been in the top 3? If you
I'm
sorry.
Yeah, I think he's been in the top 3 last week. Last week he was number 1.
Last week, yep. Yes. Oh yeah, he was. Duh. Sorry. Love you, Pidge. But you know, he's definitely been real high up on the list. And let me say that. Just cut that out for now. And or leave it in for comedy purposes. But good job, Pidge. Let's see what you can do, man. Keep building those Pokemon and keep kicking everybody's butt.
All right, and I can't wait to see what Pidge does for Season 4. Can't wait to see that. Of course, we are now nearing the top 2 of the rankings. So real quick, just want to make sure and remind you guys to hit the like button on the video, subscribe to the League Battle League channel. Of course, check out all of the other coaches whose links are going to be in the description below. And the roundups, the weekly roundups, check those out. They're also on the EBL channel as well. Subscribe to Landon, Infernomen, and ItsReallyTimmyB. Don't forget to check out Derek as well, who is co-hosting the Power Rankings with me. And again, just check out everybody else whose links are going to be in the description. Amazing, amazing people. Let's go ahead and move on to number 2. Did you want to add anything for number 3 before I move on?
No, I'm ready for 2. Let's go.
Number 2. Rolling on to number 2, we have Isomorphic, head coach of the Akron Axios, at a 1-4 with a -9, 4th place in the Mega Division. So this is one of the victors. This is one of the victors for the 6-0, for one of the 6-0 sweeps. Number 2, obviously, because it wasn't as clean as the other victor, who we will mention later on. However, a sweep is a sweep is a sweep, and you know, he ended up sweeping the team with the Hippowdon. Hippowdon showed how much of a freaking tank it absolutely is, taking all of those hits and just wrecking and just causing all kinds of havoc. So congratulations, ISO, on your first win. I know that you face me for the playoffs, so good luck to you there. But that is all that I have to say on this one. Like I said, it's a clean 6-0. You can't really say much on a clean 6-0. Anything you'd like to add?
No, you definitely can't. You definitely can't say much. You know, our dude's done extremely well. He, you know, he loves his sticky webs. We've seen it every week. So he loves to be able to be faster. But Hippowdon come in and it just felt right. It had slack off. It had a good move set, and it just ran the field for him and did awesome. So shout outs to ISO for his performance, and let's see what this man can do in the playoffs. That's really all I've got to say.
Absolutely. And ISO actually got one of the MVPs for the league. He has the MVP for the Mega Division. His Hippowdon obviously was the MVP, so definitely if you get a chance, check out that video. His links, his channel links are in the description. But moving on to number 1. Number 1 is held by Latin Luigi, the degenerate troll, who is the head coach of the Tijuana Gangars, currently at a 4-1 with a +14 and first place in the Dynamax division. I gotta say, first off, I love the fact that I love the fact when it comes to his videos, he's really letting his personality out. I love it. Yep. It's hilarious. The man's hilarious. The man's freaking hilarious. And the video, the energy, it really made me really happy seeing it. Obviously not for what happened to Landon. I hope that doesn't come out that way. But the energy of self that Latin portrayed throughout his video was just contagious, and I loved it. Again, like we've said, not much to say on a 6-0 sweep. It was very clean because, unfortunately, with all the buffs that Geomancy gave to that Xerneas, there's not much that Landon can do. It just outsped and destroyed everything. So not much that you can say. It was risky play because, considering the fact that Landon had prepared for his fairies and whatnot, he did have a lot of fairy killing moves on different Pokemon. So it was risky for Latin to do it, but the reward highly paid off, and thus we have that 6-0 sweep that we talked about. Anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, there's nothing you can say. You know, the deer come in, got first blood, loved the taste of blood, and just took the rest of them.
Facts.
Got a one-shot on a Dynamax against Dynamax or Clash of the Titans. One shot fell. Everything went the Xerneas' way, man. The deer was full go this round, and it's definitely opened up a lot of eyes of guys that need to watch it in the playoffs. But shout outs to Latin Luigi. Like you said, this is a great dude. Definitely subscribe to him if you haven't. You'll be entertained every time. Full of energy, full of life. He may act like he's mean most of the time, but he's not. He's a teddy bear at heart. So just go up and give him a big subscribable hug, and you will not be disappointed. But great showing, great MVP, great dude, great battle. You know, that's all you can say. It was unfortunate for Landon, but this man marched into the playoffs and said, "I'm here. Let's go." And that's about all I can say about a sweep like that, bro. Because it was hard. I know Landon really felt it, but so did I.
It really was hard, and again, sorry it had to happen to the Shiny King, but you know, it's all part of the game. Got to take it and move on. But that was it for the for all the coaches. Let's go ahead and roll it on home. You'll see on the side, you'll see the coaches ranked from number 1 to number 12. Of course, like we've mentioned before, subscribe to the channels. Anything that you'd like to say? Any closing remarks before we move on? Before we close off?
No, guys, just make sure you subscribe to everybody. Give the video a like. Check out everything that we got here on the EBL channel. You won't be disappointed. And come out and watch the matches on Saturday.
All right, perfect. And we will see you guys again for the playoff rankings. See how everything is done. Check those out Saturday. And without any further ado, later.
Bye.